Hello. Welcome to I'm Working Late, the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
This is season 2.
And today we are joined with a special guest. So we are here with Richard Port MBE, may I say.
Thank you very much.
Quite the accolades there, Richard. But need to give you a better introduction than that. So today's episode is all about leadership. And building a meaningful career.
Yeah.
And we really feel like Richard's definitely done that through all his work. We've got Solicitor of the Year for 2022.
Congratulations.
Richard, you got an MBE as well for all your support with domestic violence victims, which is just incredible. And you're also a family law partner, so you've got quite a few bits under your belt there.
Yes, unfortunately for me, yes. I'm a family law partner.
Lots of hard work. So I guess the first question for you, Richard, is how did you actually get into law? Was it the traditional route? Was it something that you always wanted to do, or did you have a bit of a difficult entry into it?
I have like an origin story. And do you know, I've interviewed people for like vacation schemes, and I love an origin story.
Yeah.
I interviewed with someone once, and I said, well, how did you get into law? And she just went, well, I was bored on my gap year and I just fancied a change. And I was just like, I'm after an epic origin story. But so my origin story, so I'm from Derby originally, so that's why I've got that Derby twang. And I'd watched an Open University video. So back in the day, VHS, because my dad did an Open University course for law. And I saw barristers and solicitors. So I said, I really want to try that. So I applied for a million, say, vacation schemes at the age of 14, got rejection, and then eventually I got a letter back from a firm called Whitestone & Williams in Derby. So I went there, and did a work experience for a week and helped do filing and things like that. And then they kept me coming back every summer. So I was T-boy, paralegal, legal assistant, doing archiving. And then I got to the age of like 2021 after doing each summer working for them. And I got a scholarship to the bar course. So I went to the Inner Temple. I had no interest to being a barrister, and that's no offence to barristers, but I really wanted to have that continuity of start to finish with cases. But my friend told me, she said, just come to the interview, just try it. So I did, and I sat down, and they asked me all these questions. Why do you want to be a barrister? I don't want to be a barrister. I want to be a solicitor. And they said, well, what was your favourite thing on your Gold Duke of Edinburgh Award? So I went to the Lake District. On the last day, we went on a speedboat. So the only thing I had in my head was like the Hawaii 5-0 theme tune. So I'd said this to a group of people. They smiled a little bit. And then I went back thinking I probably got 250 quid for the Edinburgh Award. And then my mum rang me up and said, you've had a letter come through. They've given you £20,000 for a scholarship. Sign it quick before anything.
Probably not what to say to a lawyer now.
Yeah.
Sign it quick.
Sign it quick before they change their minds. And I before that, I told my mum I was going to go and do the scholarship interview. And I said, I'm going to go and try and be a barrister. And she started crying. She said, why would you want to waste your life making coffees for a living when you've just done a law degree? And I was like, no.
Barista.
Not barista, barrister. So I had that for an ordeal. But then she soon kind of realised it all. So I'd signed that to get my scholarship. And then my boss at work, Kevin O'Donnell, said, all right, you're not leaving us. So sign your training contract, do your year training to be a barrister, but come back. So when I came back, I just really wanted to do advocacy. That was all I wanted to do was do a case. And at the time, legal aid had changed for domestic abuse victims. So they gave me a non-molestation order, and I made friends with the refuge worker there who was supporting the client. And they said, no one's trained us on family law at all, or legal aid. And I was 21 at the time, and I didn't think I was doing anything special. I went, I'll train you up with legal aid and family law. So at the time, I had this small red car. I'd travel to the refuge, and then the way they work, their contracts for tender every so often. So the staff would jump ship to our refuges. So then they'd say to me, can you do the same at our refuge? And I'd go, okay, no problem. And I thought I was just doing the norm as to what a solicitor would do. And by the end, I had like 5 refuges at like 22 years old. And I'm getting referrals from them. And again, it was honest clear advice. It wasn't trying to just basically say, I've got to do all the work. It was just trying to help people. And that was it, really.
Yeah.
My long origin story, to be honest.
No, we love a good origin story.
Yeah, we do.
So from there then, how did you know you wanted to do family law?
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do family law at all. Because, like I say, the connotations you have with family law is it's depressing as hell.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with people's lives and they're in a bad situation. And again, when you think about doing law, you don't go, I'm going to be a family lawyer.
I'm going to do something really depressing.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. It's going to be amazing. I did criminal law. I hated criminal law.
Me too. Me too.
I went and did police station duty. And there was...
Wow.
Yeah, well, yeah, you say wow. It wasn't well at the time. And again, for 2021, and they sent me to go and sort this case for this man. And what was the charge? The charge was false imprisonment. Okay. And I'm saying to him, just go no comment. Nah, I've got it, mate. I know what I'm saying, mate. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And literally I'm saying no comment. And each time they're bringing out new evidence. And they go, we've got you, mate. We know you're lying and we've got the evidence. So we're going to book you tonight and you're on remand then until tomorrow. And I go back in and say, look, you're going to be at the cells for the night. And then he starts going, and I panic, going, he's dying. My client is dying. I've killed him. He's dying. So then I rushed to the nurse, and then I said to the nurse, the client's dying. And she goes, what do you want me to do about it? You're a nurse. Do something. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So then they take him to the hospital. I ring my boss at like 4 or 5 in the morning saying, I'm really sorry. He's had a heart attack and I don't know whether he's going to be. And he went, no. That's his party trick. When he knows he's being locked up for the night, he'll pretend he's having a heart attack so he can go to the hospital and then get a cigarette before he gets put in the cells. And I'm thinking, oh, right, great. So I didn't like criminal law.
That's what we learned from this.
And then wills and probate, I just couldn't get my... I could do it drafting, but it wasn't me just sitting down and just...
It's not very exciting, is it?
It is to some. And I say I've got friends that are probate lawyers, and like I say, they find it really interesting. But for me personally, I just... I don't know whether it's a slight ADHD I've got. I literally just can't sit behind a desk and just go, right, that's it. I've got to be doing something. So then family law, when I started doing it, I was doing more domestic abuse cases, but I was watching like the perpetrators, solicitors, and how they were acting and what weird tricks they were doing. And it was all legal. And you just had to stand there and you just saw them do these things. And I thought to myself, oh, if they can do it, why can't the victim solicitors do it?
Yeah.
Because it's all legal. It's nothing kind of going above and beyond in twisting the law. It was just weird tactics. So I then did the same tactics, watching the perpetrator solicitors. And then cases started being won, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. I had one chat, so I was representing this woman, and he sent her a text saying, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you." And I'm in the court, and he says, "I didn't do that. I did not send that." And I went, "Judge, okay, I might have sent that, but I did apologise the next day." And then I went, "Yeah, Judge, yeah, he did apologise." And they're just like, well, what are you playing at? You've just lied to me. You've told me you've not sent it. But it was little weird things that perpetrator solicitors would do to say, well, actually, that order doesn't say that, or we go this way. So I started doing that, representing victims, giving them kind of the service they need. And then it's just kind of gone from there. And I enjoy doing it. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy making sure that people are being protected. I've had a conversation with a few family lawyers, and they keep saying it's a very niche area. It's very niche what you do. It's like, it must be a very small market. And I said, unfortunately, it's not.
Yeah.
Because most family law cases have got a little element of domestic abuse. And they come to me because they've been to solicitors, and they'll say, I'm a victim of domestic abuse. And they'll either get just the cold shoulder of like, have you been a victim of domestic abuse? Or it's just patronising. Oh, that's so sad to hear. And people are like, I don't want the patronising. I know I'm in a bad situation. I just need someone to be direct and say, right, this is how we solve it. This is what we do. This is how we get round it all. And this is the support we can put in place for you. But not a lot of solicitors are doing that, which I find shocking, to be honest. So, yeah, that's...
Yeah. You can tell you're really passionate about what you do
I don't
as
shut
well.
up about it. That's the problem.
No, but I think that leads nicely on to the question I was going to ask. We know that your dedication to domestic abuse is what led you to getting your MBE. What was that like? And was it kind of a 360 moment to think like, I really deserve this because of my passion for it and how much work I've done?
I like it. It's really nice. I'm really honoured to get it. And my family take the mick out of me. I get birthday cards saying Sir Richard from it and all that jazz. And we had the president's dinner, and I brought my brother and sister and my sister-in-law, and they've never been to a law event. So when my name got read out, Richard Port MBE, you could see my brother's face going, hey. But it is nice. And but it's, I don't know, it's a bit of a, say, double-edged sword, because the whole reason you get MBEs is because you've gone above and beyond everyone else in your field.
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Right.
So I don't think I've gone above and beyond. I don't think I've put out a red carpet service. I think what I've done for clients and for refugees and other organisations is kind of like what we should be doing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a bit of an embarrassment when I've got an MBE, and I think I'm the only one in the country for legal services to domestic abuse victims.
Wow.
I might be wrong about that. But when I'm being, like, people say, oh, you must be so, like, it's a privilege and honour. It is an honour, but then it just shows you the state of what we're in, because there's no one else who actually does the same kind of standard as that. I've met a few solicitors who do, and they've not been recognised. But again, the amount of clients I get who've been to firms, and they'll come to me and say, well, this happened, this happened, this happened. They ignored this. And the other issue I've got is I get clients come in, and their solicitors have told them not to go down the domestic abuse route. They said, you're not strong enough. It's not strong enough to do it. No evidence. And I've had 4 cases in the last year where they were told not to do it, and I've done a massive U-turn on the case. I had one, and again, she was told not to go down the domestic abuse route, so she did with CAFCAS. So they're like a family advisor for the courts. And she'd said, well, he's threatened to burn down the house. He's threatened to kill my family. And CAFCAS have basically said, alienation. Didn't happen. You've made the kids say this. And then she turns around to me and she says, at court, she says, I've got the recordings. I went, you what? What? I've got the recordings. So then I go to his solicitor and say, and she's a lovely woman, so I'm not going to think, but I said to her, are you sure your client said that? Are you sure you didn't say it? No, didn't say it. He would not say such a thing. How? No. Are you sure? Because I've got a recording here that says otherwise. So then, yeah, had to admit that. And then we had another situation of where, again, we said, are you sure he's not said this? No. You've got a recording, haven't you? Yes, I do. So then we
Here
go. Here it is. And then we go before the legal advisor, and they say you can't show them these recordings. You haven't got permission. And I'm there with the legal advisor going. And again, I probably did say this, but I went, mate, you want to listen to these? These are a doozy. And then the legal advisor said, well, actually, I'm interested. Let me listen to them. You really do. So then he piped up, because it wasn't in English, and he says, I didn't threaten to burn down the house. I threatened to burn down the kitchen. And the legal advisor went, yeah, because that makes an absolute difference.
Just the kitchen.
So,
guys, it was just the kitchen.
It's just the kitchen. No problem. So he had to make admissions. He had to admit it, or he didn't want to admit it. He had to admit he was a perpetrator. So then that way then, because we've lost the ability now, so we used to have perpetrator courses, and CAFCAS used to be able to send them on them. They've got rid of them. Right. Whether that's funding, I don't know. But now you can go to your doctor and tell them, I'm a perpetrator, and then they'll put you on a course, and you have to pay for that privilege. So he had to then go to his doctor and say, I'm a perpetrator, kind of gritty, bare teeth and all that. So then we get to a final hearing, and again, he's sending horrible messages saying, I'm going to kill myself, I don't see the children, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So I go before the legal advisor, the magistrates, and I say, he's still at it. And then he goes, I'm not a perpetrator. Okay, but you've admitted to it. I've only admitted to it just so I can see my kids. And they're like, but you have threatened to kill people and do this. Well, she made me do it. Really? So in the end, they said, look, we're going to discharge your application because quite clearly you've not learnt your lesson whatsoever. But that was a U-turn because they told her not to go down the domestic abuse route. And then I had another case. And again, he was representing himself. I was representing the mother. And he sounded like he was recording himself in court. So he stood up. We don't stand up in the family courts unless it's a circuit judge. Stands up and does this like villain monologue of she's this and she's that and da 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 da. And I'm there and I've just said, are you recording this? And so I'm so sorry, Your Worships, for interrupting, but it sounds like he's recording this. Yeah. So he then does like a whole, how dare you even ask me that? So then he goes up to legal advisor. And have you seen like the old mafia films where they have the wire down the chest? Yes. Yeah. He lifts up his top to legal advisor and goes, no wire, no wire. And then I've just asked for an anger management course previously, and they said no. And they said, I think actually on second thought that might be a good idea. And then we went to another hearing with him. And he then decided, he told the judge, he says, I've done an anger management course. I'm ready to see my kids. I've done what I need to do. I've done what I need to do. And the judge starts asking him questions. And then he looks at the judge and he says, I don't like the tone of how you're speaking to me, judge. And the judge then goes, I'm gonna leave for 5 minutes and you're gonna change whatever attitude this is, and then we're gonna talk. So then he comes back in and then he says, all right, are we ready to talk? No, not talking to you because there's no point talking to you. And it's just like, and again, that's what you have to kind of go through. And again, that was another case where someone was told not to go down that route because he said it would look bad on him. And then now he's now in prison for another offence.
Oh, wow.
And the whole application was discharged altogether, and we got everything in place to make sure that if he does try and come back again, it's there in black and white, because that's another trick they try and pull, is they'll withdraw from the proceedings in the hope that they'll make another application in 6 months, and then it's a clean slate. You can't raise domestic abuse because you've already tried it, and I walked away from it. But it's weird tactics like that I know, and I shouldn't have to know what they try and do. But that's what I have to kind of go through. And I will admit, I did laugh when he started slapping his chest. Whether that was professional, but I literally was there just like, what the hell is this? Yeah. But yeah, that's the issues that we kind of face with it all.
Yeah. That leads me nicely on to asking about some of the challenges you face. Because I imagine that is very frustrating.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you touched on it's quite difficult, like it's heavy and you take it home. I know you did a seat in family law and you said the same. You found it quite heavy and you struggled to disconnect.
Yeah.
And frustrating at times.
It can be frustrating at times. And sometimes you do cases and you just think to yourself, that's not the right verdict at all. Again, for other people who are listening, I listened to this really senior barrister in Nottingham once when I was really young, and he says, I have days where I go into court and I walk away and I think, I smashed that, couldn't do any better than that, I absolutely smashed it. And then there's some days where I come out of court and I think, do you know what, I could have done better on that, could have done better. And he says, when you lose that ability, when you don't come away from court being critical of yourself, that's when you need to kind of walk away, because you're then just doing the mundane it's a 9-to-5 job then. It's basically meh, done it, sorted. And I still get, say, if I'm getting worked up for a hearing, I'll still go through what I need to raise and go through it all. But as soon as you start losing that passion for what you do, then it's time for you to go, do you know what, I need a refresh, I need to have change. And on a Sunday, I don't have a panic. I don't kind of think, oh my God.
You don't get the Sunday scares.
I don't get the Sunday scares going, oh God, I've got to go to work. I enjoy it, and it is really heavy. It's a really heavy thing to go on it. But at least if the case doesn't go the way it should go, you've got appeals, you've got things like that. But for me, It's, well, I'm trying that. I'm hoping it goes the right direction. I will fight to the nth degree. And the amount of times I've had clients come to me and go, literally, you fought tooth and nail for that one. And I've been told off a few times by judges. I had one judge and literally ignored me. And I then started talking over, and he was, I'm sorry, Mr. Port, but I've never come across you before, but there's a way I handle my cases. And I went, oh, yes, Judge, I've never come across you before, and I don't like being ignored when we're the applicant in this case. And quite clearly, we've got things to say. And again, I wouldn't recommend you do that.
That's not advised.
That's not advised. But at the same time, you've got to remember, judges. This is the thing. When I was younger, judges, you saw them as the high and mighty, and you saw them as the big top. Judges get trained on peacekeeping. Right. That's what they're trained to start off with. They're there to peacekeep. They're not there to kind of take one side, which is fair enough. But at the same time, that can go too far. If you've got evidence and you've got enough there to go on, then it's not a peacekeeping mission, this. You've got someone who's clearly been attacked. We've got evidence of it. I've had cases before. We've had convictions for really severe, say, offences. And the judges are there just going, we should all just get along. Can't do that, Judge, because he has attacked her and it keeps threatening and sending weird and wonderful messages. Let's just all be friends in this. Think about the children. Yeah, we are thinking about the children, and we're trying to protect the children. I had one, and it was during lockdown, and there's a course called Separated Parents Information Program, which is basically you go and they teach you how to communicate with your other parent. And my client had been attacked severely, head hit against a patio door, really bad. And I go on this Zoom link, and the legal advisor says, I know what the problem here is. You two can't communicate. That's the issue. And then I then step in and go, actually, George, the problem here is he likes to hit women and can't control his anger.
He's violent.
He's a violent man. And then he goes, what do you mean? Have you read the papers? Yeah, of course I have. I said, well, you'll see there's a conviction there for assault and GBH. Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. And the amount of times I've had the courts try and put blame and say, you two can't communicate and you need to do a separated parents information program. And I've gone, no, he or she isn't, because that person's been convicted of X, Y, and Z. So the reason why they've stopped the contact is because there's severe safeguarding concerns as to it all. I've had one before as well where, again, going deep with this, where someone was convicted of, like, he thought he was talking to a 14-year-old girl online, but it was a honey trap kind of situation. Yeah. It was a vigilante group. And mum stopped contact. Fair enough. Went before a judge in the courts, and the judge said, why is this man not having contact with his son? And I said, you have read the papers, Judge? Of course I've read the papers. I said, well, you'll know that he's been charged with trying to talk to a 14-year-old girl online, etc., and there's safeguarding concerns. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Section 7 report, yeah, you can't see your son, and there's no supervised contact, and we're going to do it, this, and this. You got to remember, they're not the top, they're human beings still. They do make mistakes. Yeah. And it isn't till you get to senior level that you kind of realise all of that. And it is disappointing, because you do have this kind of big thing of, well, judges know the truth and know what's right. They don't always. And until you learn that, you don't get scared then of doing appeals or raising issues or saying to judges and going, maybe that's not the right way to go, George, because of X, Y, and Z. Yeah. So I've got a few friends that are judges. I've got one, and she contacted me and said, I've got an occupation hearing that I've got to do. I've got no clue what I'm doing on it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's really puts confidence in me. So I guided her to what she needed. But again, it's stuff like that until you realise that we all bleed. We're all human beings. There isn't that hierarchy. It's just, hopefully, when you get before a judge, they do have that experience, but don't feel scared to kind of challenge that experience if you need to.
Yeah. So do you think, this is a bit not off topic, but I'm diverting, Holly will know.
Please divert, please.
Do you think the system is failing victims? Or do you think, like you just said, the judges are humans, like they are doing their best?
It's a difficult one because I can't give you so people tell me and say, well, what's a solution for domestic abuse in the family courts? And you've got two kind of branches. It's either do nothing at all because no one's really a victim, or you basically have a zero tolerance on domestic abuse. And I sit in the middle approach. Yeah. Because if you have a zero tolerance on domestic abuse in courts, there's a new thing now that I'm pushing forward because no one really talks about it. It's called misidentification. Okay. So we have all these lovely things that we have to safeguard victims, but perpetrators are really clever. So what they do is they pretend to be victims and they go to court and they go, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, show no evidence whatsoever. And then the courts get scared. We've had so many cases where the wrong decisions have been made. The court gets scared and then they say, all right, the person who is actually the victim can't see their child for 6 months, or if they do, it's in a contact centre at their expense until we kind of thrash all this out. So then we get 6 months down the line and the courts then realise there is no evidence of domestic abuse. And then when you try and go in to say, look, this person has lied through their teeth just to try and cause abuse further to my client, the courts then say, let's put it in the past. Let's forget about it. Don't worry about it. Forget. You go, well, you can't, because that child has been ripped away from their mum or dad, who was primary carer, was the sole carer on that situation. And you've then made a really bad decision without any evidence. You had no justification to do so. Most of the time we'll have gone for an appeal. But by the time you've gone for an appeal, the cost of it is massive. The time in it is massive. And again, no one really likes to do appeals. So the amount of times I've done an appeal where the courts have just tried to sort something out rather than go down the appeal route. But I think the courts are trying. They're trying to put things in place. But you can't go that full zero tolerance. You definitely can't go that everyone's not telling the truth. And again, I've heard a judge say that to me before, and I've then said, shut up. That's not the case. But you can't go the zero tolerance. And it's a very weird thing for someone to say that, because the amount of people I've spoken to where we're against domestic abuse. I'm 100% against it. But in practicality, if you then have that approach in court, you've got victims who will be carrying on the abuse from their perpetrator, because perpetrators aren't stupid. They know what they're doing. We've got the Domestic Abuse Act, okay, and I talk about it, and again, people go in, I'm probably the worst person to talk to about everything. I'm negative everything, but the Domestic Abuse Act, we've got all these supposedly brand new tools to our disposal, right? Yeah. They're not new at all. We've got the domestic abuse protection notices and domestic abuse protection orders, okay? Now, they sound brand new. We had domestic violence protection notices and domestic violence protection orders years ago. And I've been doing this for about, I think it's 10 years in October. I've seen 2 of them in my career because the police don't know how to use them. So now they've rebranded them and the police still don't know how to use them. But they've said, here you go. Here's a little tool for you there. But what's the tool's use if no one ever uses it at all? We're then talking about having tracking monitors on perpetrators. Think of the expense for that. Yeah. We can't arrest perpetrators as it is, let alone then put trackers on them. Yeah. It's not going to happen. And then we've got non-molestation orders, we've got occupation orders, we've got a definition for domestic abuse, but it's brand new. It's a brand new definition. No, it's not. It's the family law definition of domestic abuse. But again, it's just been put in a nice little box and it's been sold to us as this amazing thing that the government are doing for us. So I did a talk about it and someone before me was like, the government have done so much for us. We're so lucky. We're so lucky to have it. And then I come on stage and I go, no, they haven't. They really haven't done anything for us. And we're getting worse in the situation. And we've got technology. Yeah. So have you got Ring doorbells?
Yeah, we do.
So what's the purpose of a Ring doorbell?
To know who's at your door.
Yeah, to know who's at your door. But it also tells you who's leaving your door, doesn't it?
Right.
So you can set it up and perpetrators can use that then to see when their victim comes in and out. Yeah. They've then got the Apple AirTag, so they know exactly then where their victim is going at all times. Yeah. And then they've got the pet security cameras to make sure they can keep an eye on their victims at all times. So technology is amazing, and I've got Ring and I've got Alexa, but it's being used to perpetrators' advantages.
Yeah.
So as much as we're bringing everything in, there's always kind of a downside to it. I told you I'm just negative.
I think it's so important though to speak up, because I don't think change comes from agreeing and being complicit with whatever someone says. And I do think you have to not fight back, but that's the only way I can kind of word it. You have to be resistant to it, you know. You have to be like, I don't agree with that.
It's just being honest about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like say, there's no point in kind of saying, the judiciary system, family courts, absolutely amazing, can't change it, there's nothing we should change about it. Are you questioning the courts? Are you saying that they're not very good? Because if you are, wow, they need to do more, and there needs to be more training. The police definitely need to do more.
I agree.
I agree
literally,
too.
I agree.
I've got cases where literally they're not arresting people, or if they are arresting people, it's for nonsense kind of things. I just kind of think to myself, why have you arrested them?
Yeah.
I've had one client, and he got accused of stealing something from his own house. And they went, well, you stole it. And he went, no, I haven't. It's mine. Well, you says you stole it. I think it was a book of like a photo album of the baby.
Oh.
And he says, you stole it. Oh, I bought it. I printed the photos off.
I'm in that photo.
So they arrested him and called him in for an interview and started going through all the spiel. And then he says, I've still got it. He says, well, what we need to do then, we're going to get an escort to take you all the way home, and you're going to get that for us so we can give it back to her. But he says, well, it's mine. We don't care. We think it's hers. So again, they're spending the resources on the easy wins.
Yeah.
But they're not easy wins, because there's nothing actually there. And it's a very strange. There's little other tactics that they're doing, perpetrators using the police, but I don't really want to talk about it, because actually it's so outside the box that more and more people will actually do it. But the perpetrators are using the police to their advantage, and then no one's really calling them to account on it. And this is the big thing about misidentification. The police are misidentifying victims. And then when actually victims come in and give them the real evidence, they'll say it's tit for tat. Because they've made allegations against you with no evidence whatsoever. But you've provided this, but we're not interested. Yeah. And the other thing is, well, when people do get arrested, they do get charged, they then can't find them. So again, you go for this long-winded process. And you then speak to the police and say, well, have you got the address for that person? Well, we spoke to their mum, and they've moved, and they won't give their address to us. So, we've just let them slide. You're the police, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Say, I need the address.
Do you think it's also a little bit difficult for people to speak up against the police because they're seen as like an authoritative figure? So like we're saying now, you're the police, do something. Do you feel that we maybe feel as though we can't say that to them?
The police are amazing, and they're doing a really good job. And if anyone says anything negative about the police, then they're bad people. You don't know my address.
Room full of bad people here.
You don't know who we are.
Can we put a disclaimer on this? Just do it at the beginning. Yeah. Any comments made are not actually real.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. This was done by AI. I think people do find it hard to talk up about it, because again, they're the police, they're the sheriffs of the town, aren't they?
I think I would be.
Yeah.
I had just to divert. I had an AirTag on me.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did. Do you know this?
I didn't know this.
Okay. And the police didn't
bothered.
No.
Just brushed it
Really?
off.
Not brushed it off.
Obviously, it terrified me.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 20.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you find out where it came from?
I had no idea. They couldn't figure it out.
What, the police?
Yeah, no, they couldn't figure it out.
Do you know the people that you pay all your taxes for?
Couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. They're the ones that got all this forensic high-tech stuff.
No. I had a similar issue with like repeated phone calls.
Yeah.
From like, in a similar situation. And it was Christmas Eve, and I had to phone them and sorry, nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So everyone's helpless.
I'm gonna tell you a secret that they've not told you.
Okay.
They can do something about it, but they just can't be bothered to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not kind of rocket science in relation to the tax. They can trace back IP addresses and stuff, but no one actually, they're not bothered because, again, it's the resources. But if you said, look, my perpetrator is literally outside, he's immobilized, he's not leaving for the next 2, 4, maybe 5 hours, can you send someone? And I've got ring footage of him shouting and kicking and doing this. They go, yeah, we'll see you in 5 hours' time. And I've had it before where people have rang the police in emergency and literally just not turn up, or they just turn up and go, where is he, or where is she? It was gone. It's 2 weeks ago. Oh, right, okay, yeah, cool.
Last year.
Yeah. Now we're based at St. Phil's, aren't we? So we're not far from where Tom Cruise got his car stolen.
We're not.
I didn't even know Tom Cruise was in Birmingham.
He was.
Well, not he was.
He was, but he got his car stolen. I can bet you any money they were like, yes, Mr. Cruise, we'll find out who it was. But they're not bothered about an AirTag.
Okay, about me. Only
do you know whereabouts was it then that you got?
I was at uni. I was in York, so I was walking. It was on like a main road. Yeah.
It's just,
it was very confusing.
You've got to think about these people that do stuff like this. You've got to think the cojones on them is to like think that actually, well, one, it's mental that they would do that, but two, to kind of think, do you know what? Actually, this is a really good thing to do.
I don't. Yeah. I try and understand it.
You never will.
You will.
Because you don't think that way, so you'll never understand
you never
it.
Will.
But
you will never be able to rationalise that.
And again,
don't beat yourself up for not being able to understand.
You have either really smart perpetrators, or you have the most dumbest of the dumb ones. And it is all. And I'm not even going to say that, because I've listened to talks before where I'm not going to name who it was, but someone did a talk and they tried to blame it on gambling, alcohol, and mental health as a reason why someone is a perpetrator. And it was a panel-like thing at the time, and they'd said it, and you could see the room, like, because these were all victims in the room, you could see them, and I'm like, no, thank you.
I'd like to exit now.
Yeah. And they were like saying, so you're saying that gambling and alcohol cause this? And I'm going, it's not me. That kind of
I didn't say that.
I didn't say
that.
No,
it's not mine.
And then so I used to get loads of books when I was like first starting out from the refugees. So I'd like, why does he do that? Or why is he hurting me? And da-da-da-da-da. So when, like I say, I started dating, it looked really weird. Like, they were like, well, why have you got all these books on your shelf? I'm like, I'm a domestic abuse lawyer. and it's such a kind of, it's such a switch off, because if you go to like a party or anything, and you're like, if you say you spoke to a doctor, and then you go, oh, wow, that's so fascinating. Like, you're a brain surgeon. That's amazing. But then they come to me and go, well, what do you do for a living? I'm a domestic abuse lawyer. Great, cool, wow. Jeff, do you need me? Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah,
I don't
lovely talking
think
to you.
it's like made out to be as important as it should be.
I'm not bothered. Like, it saves me from a conversation. Like, I'm there for the food and the music, and so that's it. So I can live with that.
No, we find it really interesting.
I think it needs to be spoken about more though, and like, I'm happy you're the one advocating for it, because like I just said, you're not sat here being like, I love this about the government. They're so great.
Oh, they're amazing.
All laws are great. You know, you're being honest. And
it's when we turn to the camera and we go, isn't the government the most amazing thing ever? Thank you, government. That's when that's
our thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's gonna be clipped on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh god. But no, again, just segueing on, we've spoken about, you know, your career in law. Want to congratulate you on another occupation, which most recently is being the president of the Law Society.
Yes.
Leading on from what we just spoke about, how I appreciate how you can speak up against things. I think that's one of the great skills of being a leader. But what guides you as a leader, and what were your sort of objectives being the president in the Law Society?
So I hand it back next week, so I can literally say anything I want now. I'd say I did my deputy vice president, and I did my vice president, and I went to events and I stood back and I just kind of just listened and watched and all that jazz. And what normally happens is we have a theme as a president. So again, you're young or old or working class and all that jazz. And and I'd done my speech already. It didn't go down that well when I said this, but when I said, well, look, I'm a white, apparently I can't say I'm working class because they've said, my friends and family said, look, you've got an MBE, mate. You can't say you're working class anymore. But outwardly middle class, a heterosexual male who can't say he's young anymore. I wasn't then going to kind of go on for a whole year and go, oh, yes, let's help the middle class. It wasn't something, but it was never going to be something like that. I never took on the role to kind of do a profile raise of me or kind of just go, aren't I amazing? Aren't I amazing as a person? I'm the president. Did you know that? If I did that to family, they'd go away.
Shut up.
So I thought, do what I know best, and it's about helping people. So I came up with the idea of, well, rather than just being purely focused on domestic abuse, it was about giving voices to the voiceless, and kind of, rather than it being about the president, because it should never just be about the president. I'm not sitting here and going, I'm awesome, aren't I? Aren't I great? I'm better than you in every single way. Never in a million years at all. It should be about the members, and it should be about the whole community. So I said, well, look, my year is going to be focused just on the membership. It's going to be focused on giving the platform to others who don't have that platform. There's loads of law firms around here, literally thousands of followers online, but there's so many little organisations and individual lawyers who just do such amazing work, but they don't shout up about it because people don't kind of go and go, yeah, I'm great, I've done this, I've done all this charity work and I'm amazing. And so I kind of made sure that we had all the individuals, all the organisations that needed that platform. I said, I'm sidestepping, I will guide the ship, but the spotlight needs to be on them. And it's been great. Like I say, it's been hard work, absolutely hard work. And we've had the President's Dinner on Thursday, and I've kind of walked away thinking, I'm not really, in my mind, I've not achieved that much, or I can't say, well, I did this and this. We had, do you know who Bag of Chips is?
Yes.
I was there.
Did you
there?
know?
I was there.
Fun fact, guys, my nail tech, her fiance, Bag of Chips is his cousin.
Really?
So there's that link, guys.
Baggers.
That's my claim to fame.
Baggers was awesome. And when I went to like the meetings, they said, who are you going to have for the alternative dinner? I went, Bag of Chips. And they were like, Bag of who? So have you seen RuPaul's Drag Race? No, I haven't. But Baggers was just amazing. But like, who can honestly say for the last how many years that we've had Bag of Chips or a drag queen or anything like that come and do it? And I kind of spoke to a few friends about it and said, look, is this right? And they went, absolutely, it's right. So we had Bag of Chips for the alternative dinner, the legal awards. We had Dominic Holland, so Spider-Man's dad. So I've just come back from Disneyland in France, and they've got a Spider-Man ride. And there's Tom Holland speaking in French. And I turn to my family and go, I know whose dad I do. And they were just rolling eyes going, what? So that was a great night. And again, I've just tried to refresh everything. I've tried to do a big refresh. Like I said in my speech on Thursday, like, I don't want the usual anymore. You deserve better than the usual. Like, you go to these events, and let's do a test. If you go to an event, right, what do you normally expect? I don't know about your allergies or dietary requirements. What do you normally eat at like a law event? What's the main meal?
It's usually like a glorified little roast, bit of meat.
Bit of chicken.
Bit of chicken, bit of gravy, bit of carrots.
Yeah. So with the legal awards, we did duck because I'm sick and tired of eating chicken. And then we just kind of got a brass band on stage, and again, I just wanted it to be a celebration. And then like with the President's Dinner, it was just a celebration of the members. That's all I wanted it to kind of be about. But I had people coming to me towards the end of the night saying, you know what, it was really refreshing that you've done that, and it's been nice. I had one person come to me, and if they're watching this, I don't know, I can't remember your name, but someone came to me and she said, well, look, I've been to previous dinners, and I just felt awkward. I felt uncomfortable because it was so formal that I just felt on just best behaviour, high guard and all that. And she said it was nice. I came, I met some new people. You had a band on. The band, we had Aisha Khan, the Rajas, absolutely amazing. And we just made it about everyone. It was like a mini legal awards, but without any awards being given out. I even got a chance to say "I up my duck" on stage. That was. I'm proud now. I can literally walk away from my legal career going, do you know what? I've achieved what I want to achieve. But I can say this year that's all I wanted to do, and I can say I can walk away. That this person who came to me afterwards and said that to me, I'd said on stage, I felt like I've achieved it. After that person came to me, I thought, do you know what? You've got exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to make sure that we can all get involved. It's inclusive without just saying it's inclusive. Because I'm sick and tired of hearing the word inclusivity as a token gesture when it isn't actually true.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've achieved that. And we've got people back on track to make sure that Birmingham Law Society is modern, relevant and strong pillar of the legal community. Yeah. But yeah, I step aside next week. So yeah, hopefully it'll continue.
Yeah. Well, a good year though.
Yeah.
Good year. In terms of your initiatives that you've done, could we speak about Mankind and She Beast? Could you tell me a bit about that?
So they're the charities of the year. So She Beast, to help victims of domestic abuse, they offer like training, fitness training. They do like coaching courses, but they train them to be coaches. And then Mankind has got a helpline for men who are suffering domestic abuse. So again, not kind of doing the whole black and white that only women can be victims of domestic abuse. I covered it with 2 charities, and a shout out to them. They are amazing. We've got Mark Brooks, who's in charge of Mankind, and then Sadie Jones. They've just been great. I think Thursday, I haven't got a total figure as to what we raised, but Thursday alone we raised £1,360. Wow. So it must have been a large amount. I think I'll get the figure for Thursday this week. But again, it was just, I didn't want to do the token, just get a domestic abuse charity in that covers one side of it, because it's sad, but domestic abuse is a great believer in equal opportunities. Yeah. So it covers old, young, male, female, non-binary, CEOs to students. It covers everyone. So until we kind of realise that, until I stopped getting people say, it's really niche what you do. It's a small market what you kind of achieve. I remember I think it was lockdown, I had some like marketing company come to me and say, look, we really like you. We really like what you're about. Okay, we really love it. We're going to do it. Yeah, we really like what you're doing, what you're saying. I'm like, oh, great. And then they said, okay, we've got an idea for you. Right, we're going to post something. All right, World Cup leads to more domestic abuse. I said, well, the football doesn't lead to more domestic abuse. It kind of exacerbates it. Okay, all right. Yeah, I get you. 100%. Yeah, understand what you're saying. Alcohol leads to more domestic abuse. How about that? I said, no, alcohol, like it exacerbates it. But I talk to these people and they fire out these really weird conceptions of what domestic abuse is. And then people try and, it's like if you're ill, right? Or there's a problem, you want to know what a solution is. And the easiest way is to blame this, blame that. And we don't know 100% as to what causes domestic abuse. And it's very easy to get out of jail card to say it's alcohol or it's this or it's this. So whenever someone tries to give me a solution to the problem, I just go, that's clearly not a solution. It might be a reason as to why it gets worse, like with lockdown. So they said domestic abuse increased during lockdown. Didn't increase. It was always there in the background. It was just that a lot more people jumped out of the frying pan because they said, I can't stay living with this person in lockdown for all this time. I did sociology at school, and it's the dark figure of policing, right? So your incident with the AirTag, right? You've logged it, and they can either put it down as a stalking incident, or they can just put it down as just a general incident that's happened. So depending on the police and what they need to do that year, in regards to numbers, they all pick and choose where they log that. So if they need to increase domestic abuse figures because they need to show the world that they're doing more, then what might be a spat on the street with someone, they might say, well, it was a domestic incident. Or if someone gets assaulted, rather than put it down as a domestic abuse incident, they'll label it as just an assault, just a common assault kind of thing. So again, it depends on the time and the flavour of the month as to what they're doing. But that was really annoying during lockdown, because they were just saying, well, domestic abuse has increased. I've said it's never increased. It's always there. It's always in the background. But no one wants to be a victim. No one wants that label on top of their head saying, oh yeah, woe is me. And so people don't report it. People don't want to talk about it because it's not a nice subject. So when I do these talks with people, when I go on stage, and I see the eye roll going, Jesus Christ. Just give me the chicken now, please. just give me the chicken.
Disappointed when it's done.
Yeah, I just want the lemon tart.
It's always a lemon tart.
So it's always a lemon tart. So when I go on and I literally am trying to like kind of not bring humour into it, but kind of just talk about it ironically and try and, rather than, like I say, I've been to talks before and it's just boring because no one wants to listen to it. No one wants to hear about different stories and stuff. So I've been to one where they're just, hello and welcome to the domestic abuse talk. I'm here to talk to you about domestic abuse. And then you just totally switch off. So the important message is gone. So I did a presentation in Manchester a few months ago. And do you like horrible histories?
Yeah, I used to absolutely love that.
So I did the disturbing evolution of domestic abuse in the family courts and society. So I did like a Jurassic Park thing, going, let's go back in time. And we went through like the previous laws. So I can't tell you the year. But one of the first laws was that a man was permitted to hit his wife as long as the rod that he did so wasn't any bigger than their thumb. Yeah? That was a law. And then there was an ordinance in London years later saying that men were allowed to hit their wives, but not between the time of like 8 p.m. and 6 p.m. in the morning, because it was causing noise disturbance. So
God forbid the noise.
God forbid the noise. Jeez Louise. But that's how far we've kind of got. And then you get to the modern day with the Domestic Abuse Bill and Act, and you think, oh, it's all plain sailing, everything's fine. Mm-hmm. But then you realise, well, literally, we've just been sold a red herring, that it's anything special. We may have come a long way by not allowing it, and the views now are it is not acceptable in any shape or form. Yeah. I think because they changed it as well, that they've said that children under the family courts can be victims in their own rights. And it's like, yeah, of course they can. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean they can be victims? Well, we've kindly now said they can be victims. What? Why were we not doing that before? Yeah. But a lot of it's just common sense. Yeah. And I do get annoyed with it. I do get frustrated with it. But having the opportunity to rant at you for however long about chicken dinners and all that jazz, I'm hoping people kind of talk about it more, and it's not like an elephant in the room. It's kind of discussion that people can have, because the more you talk about it, the more the taboo goes, and the more people then kind of, they'll see victims, they'll talk to victims. And it's like with the workplace. As much as a workplace says, look, we're here to help victims of domestic, and I've seen it so many times on like LinkedIn, because if it's not on LinkedIn, then does it even happen?
It did not happen.
It did not happen. So the amount of times I've seen employers then start like bragging and saying, we've helped victims of domestic abuse. And then I hear other stories where like people have had to take time off for it. And again, you don't ever want to go to employment tribunal. People don't do that. It's not an easy task to do. And they've just gone, well, your productivity's gone down, so we're going to have to sack you. And they're like, well, actually, I'm a victim of domestic abuse. And they go, we don't really care because you're losing us money. So it's a swings and roundabout situation. I want people to understand, have the conversations, because like with work, you're the front line. Some people might not have family at all. They can't then kind of say, this is what's happening. But if you've got someone coming in late, or they're complaining about the partner, or they're coming in with bruises and things like that, and they can't really easily explain it, then that's when you red flag it, and then you start thinking to yourself, well, what can I do? Some of the banks, I know nationwide, they're doing an initiative where they've got a safe room. So you can go to the bank and you can go and sit in this room that's available, and it's got the numbers for refuge, it's got the numbers for every place that you can try and get support from. Most of the time it's opportunities for victims just to be able to kind of get out there and get safe, in all honesty.
I guess sometimes that's what you need, to be provided with an opportunity and a space to do that. So
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, I agree. So going off the back of your presidency, do
Mm-hmm.
you think that your responsibility increased to advocate for domestic abuse when you got the presidency, or did you just kind of remain as you were? Because I do think you do a lot.
Nah, I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm not going to help people. People? What? The whole reason I took it on was purely that, just to help people. I didn't go for a profile raise. I didn't want to go on stage and say, I'm amazing. I'm just awesome. And I made it really clear from the start that that is not my intention in any shape or form. Someone said to me, well, what are you going to do once you finish your presidency?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, what's your plan? How are you going to cope? and I really wanted to turn around and say, well, I'm going to go into a corner and I'm just going to slowly fade away.
I'm just gonna die.
That's my life now. I'm done now as president, and therefore that's it. I've not changed the approach. I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do, but in a way, the spotlight's on me, but not me personally. But I've been able to use the presidency as its own platform to kind of raise awareness and help people. So we had a talk from Tracy Seckler, and she works with a number of organisations. She's absolutely amazing. And again, giving her the platform just to be able to talk to different organisations and have that awareness. We had the Deputy Mayor last Thursday. She spoke about Birmingham and the vision for the city. But I also had my friend Sam Beckinsale come. So she's, and I've said this in my speech already, actress, director, writer, producer, builder, electrician. I don't know. The list is kind of yeah. She probably doesn't know how to do electricity.
Can she change a light bulb?
Can she do a fuse box? That's the question.
Can you?
Please do let us know. But again, she came and spoke. But I met her at a film premiere. So she did a film called Love, and it's really hard hitting. And you kind of think it's going to be like when you think of a film, you kind of think it's going to be just actors kind of thing, but I don't want to ruin the film for anyone. Like, how can you ruin it? No. But she's there giving a monologue about domestic abuse, and it's really hard hitting. It's worth watching, because it kind of, you're there and you're listening to it, and you listen to every little bit she's going through, talking about domestic abuse, from controlling coercive behaviour to financial abuse, about the children, and again, just having people around and people being able to talk to organisations and different contacts. The whole plan was just to be able to get them to network with the organisations, because it's very nice that we network and get business from each other, which is great. It lines the pockets. But actually on a social level, on a community level, if I can get those to talk to different people and talk to different organisations, and I know the work that they do is outstanding, like She Beast and Mankind, the support and help they can get from other organisations means the work is just going to go explode. And that's what I've just tried to do this year, is just kind of get everyone community-wise involved with the legal sector and get their names out there and get them involved more, because we've the Birmingham Law Society, 9,000 members, huge. We're the second largest law society. This is what I'm told. This is we're the second largest law society. Allegedly. But we're massive. And like I say, I've been to different law societies, and they're absolutely amazing in what they do, but we're just as amazing. And we've got all these contacts. Like Birmingham in itself is a beautiful city. And so being from Derby, I love Derby, and I love being there. But coming to Birmingham, you've literally got everything here. And the amount of like people I've met connection wise has been just phenomenal. So again, I wanted to share that with the membership, that they can have that connection, that networking, but without the awkward networking as well. Like, do you go to many networking events?
We do actually.
We spoke about this on our networking episode that we did, and we were like, it can be so awkward.
So you do the small talk, like, how's the family? Family okay? Family all right?
How's the dog?
Yeah, how's the dog? Dog okay? Yeah. Was it a cover poop? Was it? Yeah. And then you do all the small talk, and it's like, so right, your clients can really benefit from my help. All right. So what we need to do is we need to link up a bit more and
grab a coffee.
Yeah, coffee,
and then we'll circle back.
Mocha. Yeah,
get it in the diary.
Yeah, get in the diary.
Calendar invite.
But I used to love doing networking because you just go and you wait for the penny to drop, and it's just like, how's the family? How's everyone? Everyone okay? Great. Oh yeah. You still in that house? That generic house that you never mentioned to me before, but I'm going to make it a generic comment. And then all of a sudden it's work.
So what can you do for me?
Yeah, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? That's what we will talk about. But yeah, I just wanted to get rid of that whole networking thing.
Yeah.
I just wanted people to just have open, honest conversations without the generic banter of dust.
Yeah. Dust.
Yeah.
Glitter.
I think it's the responsibility, like when you are in law, maybe in other fields as well, but speaking from experience in law, that you have to have that platform to be able to speak up on what you want. Like, it's such a privilege to be able to have that platform and be able to actually do things and make that difference. Like, we've been in talks with a lot of charities, and we've said, like, what a privilege it is for us to be able to say to them, or we can get our firms involved and you can spread the message.
You've got a responsibility.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. If you're in such a good place and you can help all these people, then why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
You wouldn't if you're just a very horrible person. And if you're like, I feel like Christmas Carol kind of coming to mind, like heart humbug and all that. Like, I'm not helping charity.
Yeah.
When literally you can just get people in touch with the right people, and then thousands of people can be helped just by one phone call or one thing. I've spoken to a few charities and I've said, look, whatever you need me to do. And they're like, are you sure? Like, well, it's an easy kind of conversation. It's an easy kind of fix. But if you can help, it's not the butterfly effect, is it? It's kind of the effect of, like, it's the ripple effect. You help one person, what can that one person then do branching out to help more people? And it's the same with, like, training contracts. So your supervisor, they're coming to train you, right? If you go on the mentality that they're only training you just so you're kind of profitable, then that's bad. But if you go on the mentality that a decent supervisor is training you because whatever area of law you're doing, you're going to branch out and you're going to do such amazing things in the future, helping people. You could be the future legal leaders.
Yeah.
You could be president. Who knows? I could be.
It's like the Barbie movie.
You could be president. We have a past president's dinner. So the oldest president has to then do like an introduction or a thanks to the president. I could be there in how many years time having to do a thanks for you lot and just going, because I think the comment was, I'm not giving you thanks until I've eaten the meal first. So
the lemon tart.
Yeah, the lemon. Yeah, if you do it, I don't want chicken and I don't want lemon tart. No, thank you.
We'll have to get thinking.
I'm not woman if that's the case.
We'll have to get thinking.
Oh, that's funny. On that note, then.
Okay.
At the end of every episode, we do a little leave your legacy section.
Yeah,
okay.
With our guests.
Yes, we do. So what would you like to tell, what would you say to your younger self?
You can say whatever you want.
Because you told me about this. It's almost, we'll ruin the movie magic here. You told me about this and I kind of thought, it's strange because in my head, I'm still 18. I'm still that lad at Whitestone Williams. So when you've put down about leadership and future leaders and being a leader in the industry and stuff, I'm thinking, and I was thinking, do you know when you've got niece and nephew, right?
Yeah.
Have you got niece and nephew?
I've got 2 nephews. Yeah.
So when your niece and nephew come to you, right, and they need your help, right, do you ever at any point kind of look for the next adult along?
Yeah.
Who's it's not a word, but adulty more than you, kind of adulter, and you turn around and then you realise that you are the adult, and actually you go, I'm responsible now, kind of thing. So again, I've gone through the years of my career, and I've never in my mind gone, oh, I'm a leader, I'm this and this. I've just kind of, I got to lockdown, and I just kind of lost the sense of caring, but not in the sense of caring about others, caring about what people think.
Yeah.
Because you can go through your life, as someone once told me, the best way to lead is to act like you care and act like you're listening, right? So I do exactly the opposite of that, because that's called stupidity. And again, just leading with that kind of arrogance to go, I'm just going to not really care about people, is kind of like, well, it works for a year or two with your team. That's great, because your team kind of think that you care a little bit. But once they get to the 2-year mark and realise that actually you're talking rubbish and you don't even know what their lives are involved or who they are as people, then that 2 years is it. So then you have to hire some more people. And then so this longevity of having others involved and having an actual group and a collaboration, you've got to actually care. You've actually got to listen to people. So yeah, I remember those words clearly. And I sat back going, like thinking, being naive and being young, going, all right. And then realising, actually, you're an idiot, actually. Yeah. What a stupid thing to say. Going back to being younger, I wouldn't have dreamed about any of this when I was like 18.
Yeah. I'm
in Derby. I look up to all the senior lawyers. Kevin O'Donnell, like I say, he was my mentor. I still talk to him every now and again. He won the Lifetime Achievement Award at Derby. Put him in for it. And I was really proud that because never in a million years would he have put his name in the hat for it. So I was really proud that he got it, because he truly deserved it, because he always taught me client service, you look after clients, you look after people, and you care. So it was funny going back as president to the Derby Law Society dinner, because all the senior people I remember when I was young, they're all there and they're all talking to me as a senior, and I'm thinking, I'm just 18 years old. Like, I'm just doing the tea. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I think, without being like the cliche that if I can do it, you can do it. I think you've got to remember, for everyone in law, nothing is impossible. Nothing. If anyone ever says to you that this is the words I've had previously, you're really ambitious, aren't you? Really ambitious. Like it's a negative thing, as if like me wanting to achieve or help others or do more is really bad. What really they were saying to me was, we don't want to give you any more promotion on this, and we don't like the fact that you're trying to go for the next level. You're trying to do something that makes us look bad because we've not done it. So all of the advice I can give to any young lawyer, any lawyer whatsoever, if you want to do something, as long as it's not against the law, you want to do something that makes you happy, gets you out of bed in the morning, do it. Yeah. Like, what's the problem? What's the thing? There were so many opportunities that have come to me, and I've just said yes to them, and I've not been paid for them. And talks, again, not been paid for them. I've spent time, but I did it because at the end of the day, I'm thinking, well, it's an opportunity to be able to go out there and speak and talk and rant about chicken and lemon tarts and domestic abuse and all that, and just kind of have a say it all, because I didn't want to do public speaking. I didn't really kind of want to go out and stand up on stage, but I did one or two, and then I just kind of enjoyed it because I lost the will to care about what people thought. So going on stage and doing like a Jurassic Park for domestic abuse, who does that? Like, honestly, like there was an event that we did. It was the Haven charity, and it was a domestic abuse conference ages ago. And there's a really beautiful song called Voila, right? And it's Humperdinck. I can't even remember who it is now, but it's you'd know him. He's a really famous composer, and he does it in the park, and he's got big hair. And it's a song about domestic abuse, but the person who sings it, it's just beautiful. But it's in French.
I know what song it is.
Do you know which song it is?
I knew when you said French, you'd know.
I knew what song it is. Yeah, I didn't know it's about.
It's beautiful.
It is.
So I played that.
I'll play it you after this.
Yeah. I literally did a talk and said, look, I can't teach you fully about domestic abuse, but what I can leave you is a gift of feeling how a victim feels, having that empathy and that kind of view of it all. But I played it. I played the whole song. Who does that on a talk? And I'm talking to family about it. I'm getting really hard. I'm literally playing it every chance I can in the car. And my family were just like, what is it? Like, it's a song about domestic abuse. Like, great, wow. But then I got on stage thinking, well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But there was not a dry eye at all in the crowd. And I thought, this is the best gift ever. Probably now you've got it documented that I've done it and there's copyright infringement. Who knows? I'm not in trouble. But it was done for charity, so please don't do that.
So if you're a nice person,
you're a nice person. Like, I'm literally raising awareness for your song. But it was amazing because, again, it's thinking outside the box. Don't ever let anyone kind of say, this is the box, stay with it. Because if that was the case, at the age of 21, I wouldn't have kind of helped a refuge centre out, because that's not the norm, to go and drive all the way to a refuge and help them out. And it was kind of always thinking outside the box as to the next level and doing something. And that's what I've always kind of tried to achieve, because, again, I have listened to people have said to me, no, don't do that, because that's unusual, like, but then I've done it, and then it's kind of achieved something, and then all of a sudden they go, I knew that was going to be a good idea. It looked like such a good idea. Yeah, well done, I really supported you on that. And I go, no, you didn't. You told me not to do it. You doubted me on it. So don't let any doubters on you, wherever you go, work wise or in life, just ignore them. Just do what you need to do, to be honest.
Great advice.
Great advice. Is there anything else you'd like to say
thank you for letting me be on.
Thank you
really,
so
really, and like I said, the work you're doing is amazing. So yeah, thank you so much.
Well, we wouldn't be able to do it with people like you, without people like you. Sorry,
with people like you. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do it without people like yourself,
you.
And you know, people who actually have a really genuine message to share that we resonate with,
and we want,
and
to
that we do want,
awareness
and that we do want to raise awareness for. So we'd like to thank you, Richard.
Thank you so much
for coming on.
Thank you.
And I think that's a wrap. If you're happy with that, Holly.
All good. So we'll see you next episode. Then. Thank
you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.